last time out, Buddy Simpson took to the streets of Monaco for the first time. Typical for Monaco, it was quite a wild one. Look at what he's got, Lance Stroll behind, heading up Beaurage, but look at that! He has just fired us straight into the wall. So on to lap 72, so only a handful of laps to go. As you can see, he tries to let Kvyat through, but Magnussen immediately pounces, and he is able to get through into P9. Buddy finishes in P10. Immediately afterwards, Buddy flew to Indy for the Indy 500 and looked on course to win before he executed a master plan.
I want to be here right now. It'd be better if someone who wants to be here took the Indy 500 win. Believe me, you are in real trouble now.
The whole F1 and Indy community were delighted with his actions, but his dad was furious.
And then you do that and give my family a bad image! What were you thinking? Explain yourself! You raced in Formula 1!
But, for now, Buddy had to move on, and with all the public attention after what happened to Indy, it was time for him to head off to Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. So, Buddy didn't have that far to travel when it came to travelling to the Canadian Grand Prix from Indianapolis, and in Monaco he actually took a few tactics when it came to engine usage, because things were looking a little dodgy for him when it came to engine mileage, but he had to serve a gearbox penalty anyway, which put him to the back of the grid from P16 where he originally qualified. So he decided it would make sense to take a fifth engine to his allocation where the penalty wasn't going to cost him anything. And he's using that new engine here today. So some interesting tactics there from Buddy Simpson and the Renault team. But without further ado, it was now time for the qualifying report.
We're going to be logging some extra data.
It was all gloomy and damp as qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix was about to get underway. Sauber were the slowest in qualifying, thus they qualified in 18th and 19th. The circuit Gilles Villeneuve exposed the lack of power of the Honda power unit, as Alonso qualified in 17th whilst Van Dorn started at the back due to a grid penalty. Whilst Kvyat outqualified Sainz for Toro Rosso. Haas injured an average session for 12th and 13th, whilst both Williams missed out on Q3 despite the track playing to their strengths. Both Renaults rounded out the top 10, whilst Force India qualified well, clearly well suited to the Montreal circuit with the Mercedes engine. Red Bull were disappointed with 6th and 7th, while Sebastian Vettel lines up on the front row. But it was Lewis Hamilton who took pole for Mercedes. So, taking a look at the grid then for the Canadian Grand Prix. And on pole position is Lewis Hamilton ahead of his rival Sebastian Vettel. Raikkonen's in 3rd ahead of Bottas in 4th. Ocon was very pleased with 5th ahead of Ricciardo, Verstappen and Perez, with the two Renaults rounding out the top 10. Massa 11th ahead of Grosjean, Magnussen, Kvyat, Sainz, Stroll, Alonso, Verline, Ericsson, whilst Van Dorn is at the back with a grid penalty.
It's a favourite for fans and drivers alike then here in Canada. We're used to seeing the unexpected happen here, and with me today to enjoy it all is Anthony Davidson, a man who knows firsthand the surprises that can pop up in this race.
I do indeed. I had a good chance at some points here in 2007, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. My old colleague Takuma Sato, though, he managed to finish 6th, so the team took home 3 valuable points, and that was a big boost to everyone at the time. I'm not sure I can think of anywhere else that so consistently provides the kind of late race excitement we get here. Obviously, towards the end of the Grand Prix, the brakes are getting worn, maybe the weather situation has changed, so there's a lot to keep fighting for all the way up to that final corner.
So, after DNF and a fairly difficult race that he endured in Monaco with getting involved in incidents that he didn't need to, he needs to strike back here in Montreal. So he is sitting on the grid in his Renault. Good qualifying that he had, which the team were very pleased with. I mean, he was disappointed that he couldn't get that final run in so he could qualify higher, but P10 is still where you'd expect Renault to be at this point, especially as they had brought a few upgrades to this race. So the launch is all fine, and with the fairly new engine, he was going to have a lot of power when it came to overtaking. So as qualifying was rain affected, all the drivers have a free choice of tyres going into the race, and as you can see in the top left corner, Buddy is on the super soft tyre for this race to start the race on, and that means that you'd expect that his pace would be a little bit down at the start of the race, but as the race would go on, his pace would improve when he's able to put the ultra softs on. So as you can see, he is in the final moments before he lines up on the grid, just psyching himself up as he lines up in P10. The start is all crucial here. It's not the easiest track to overtake on, so he's obviously hoping that he's going to make a good start and make up some positions. So, as you can see, he's just waiting for the rest of the field to line up, and we have the lights in Montreal. Lights out, away we go, and Nico Hulkenberg gets a typically good start. Not our best start, to be honest, but we kind of are able to get ourselves in a good position heading into the first corner, so we're not going to lose any positions. We have some space around us, which is useful, because as you can see, Perez and Hulkenberg are battling ahead, and Verstappen as well. So we have exited the first corner complex in P10, so it's been a reasonable stop. We've got Roman Grosjean in the Haas right behind us, and it is crucial that we need to defend from him as he is on the super soft tyre as well. But P10, reasonable start for us. So moving on to lap 3, and as you can see in the bottom right, fuel is looking a little dodgy at this stage. So Buddy was given some instructions on the team radio.
Okay, Buddy, we need to do a bit of fuel saving. Use mix 1 everywhere bar the straight.
So this phase of the race was fairly dull, not much happened. He was just focused on saving the fuel, but then once he'd saved enough fuel, he was able to go all out and use mix 2 at least. So as you can see, he's got the run on his teammate heading up to the far chicane, but there's not enough straight for him to make the move. But he's got a reasonable exit, and he's right behind his teammate. He's going to go to the inside to cover it off. It seems that the Ultrasoft are starting to go right now, and Buddy's going to try it round the outside, and it looks like he's made that move stick, but they're side by side on the entrance to the chicane, but Buddy has done it. So now the Supersoft was starting to come into their own, but then something put a dent in his progress.
Okay, Buddy, unfortunately we have lost DRS. We are working on a fix.
Great, this is what I need then.
Thankfully though, DRS would come back online later on. As you can see, the yellow flag, that's Esteban Ocon, and crucially, he's one of the other drivers on the super soft tyre, so it's crucial that now we are ahead. As you can see, he made a slight mistake heading into the chicane, and then tapped the wall. So he recovers, and we have taken the position. So now moving on to lap 27, as you can see, we've got Daniel Ricciardo right behind us. We are currently running in P5. And he's going to go for the move, but we have gone straight on to pits for our first scheduled stop. So, into the pits we go. So, we're in to change tyres, and we're going on to a new set of these super softs. So he gets off the limits, but as you can see, both Perez and Hulkenberg are ahead, and Buddy wasn't happy about that.
Okay, how have they jumped us?
This looks like the undercut main.
But Hulkenberg would actually run quite slowly during this stint, and both Perez and us would catch up to him. As you can see, Sergio Perez is going for a move heading up to the final chicane, and he has made that move stick, and we are now right behind to see if we can make that move stick as well, and we are ahead going into turn 1, so we have taken that position. So moving on to lap 52, and Buddy is in for his final pit stop, going to the ultra soft tyres. So now it's his time to shine, basically, as now he's going to be on the faster tyre. So it's a reasonable stop. As you can see, he's behind Perez, but crucially, the leaders are through now, so he doesn't actually have to move over for them as much as Perez is going to, which is going to really help Buddy. And he made use of that to catch up to the Force India, and as you can see, he is right behind heading into turn 1, and he's going to dive it up the inside. Wow, that was a really optimistic move from Buddy, but he's done it. Good move. So looking at the replay, as you can see, it was a very last minute lunge, and he made the move stick. But as you can see, it has started to rain, and Buddy has started to struggle, and this is really bad for him. And the reason for that is that this is going to basically take away all the advantage that he's going to get from the ultra soft tyres. And on lap 58, obviously he had to come in for the intermediate tyres, so that's going to hurt us when it comes to battling Ocon, as we're going to be a bit more equal. We're not going to have the pace advantage that we were intending to have. So as you can see, we're all in for the intermediate tyres. It's going to be quite a traffic jam this pit lane.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS
is disabled now, it's too wet for it. So the intermediate tyres he's on, he's going to remain in P7. So at least he remained in P7. But moving on to lap 67, and as you can see, he is right behind Ocon. As you can see, the weather has really intensified. It's, to be honest, full wet weather now, but there's no time to change. As you can see, he is right behind Ocon, heading into the first corner. He's going to dive it up the inside. He's all locked up, and he kind of has to cut across with a little bit of contact, but Buddy is through. So he still managed to make the move stick. Really getting his overtaking trousers on today. And that move on Ocon, yes, there was a little bit of contact, but that's what's called rough racing. So Buddy heads down the back straight into the final chicane, and he's going to finish in a solid P6, so a good drive for him. A performance which is going to further boost the reputation he is getting for himself this year. He has had a very strong start to the season in the opening 7 races.
And after
So
this round
looking
of the World
at the
Championship,
result, Buddy
here's how things
finishes
look
in
in the drivers'
P6,
table. It wasn't the
taking
best weekend for our
a
championship
solid
leader,
8
and their
points
advantage at the top has been
for his
reduced.
championship
Moving on to
campaign.
the
Obviously, he's
driver
not
of the
fighting
day
for the
then.
championship, but it's a
Davidson,
solid
who would you go for?
amount of
I'm gonna
points
go for
to help
Sebastian
his
Vettel.
points total and Renault's position
So,
in the
here they come
Constructors'
now, out onto
Championship.
the podium.
So,
Wherever you
a very
go,
solid
anywhere in the
outing
world,
for Buddy
the prancing horse
off the
flags are
back
dominant in the
of
grandstands, and they're
his
out in force again
controversial
today.
actions
It's
at
Ferrari
the Indianapolis
on the top step
500, which still are hanging over him, as his dad is still absolutely furious with Buddy for what he did. So, Buddy continued his strong start to the season in Canada. The question was, can he continue the momentum heading into Baku?